Count it down.
Here we go. Welcome, everybody. Oh, look, we have a woo. And here is Bright. Hey, welcome to the show, everybody.
What's up, Bryce?
Welcome to Collecting Profit.
Hello, everybody.
How's it going? Got a special. We got the guys from the Pittsburgh Card Show. Back on. They have a card show coming up in about 10 days or so. So we're gonna talk about it and all kind of stuff. I got my partner in crime over there now. Anthony, how's it going, buddy? How are you?
Good, everyone. Sorry for any background noise. We are in the middle of the airport, getting ready to fly back to beautiful Pittsburgh. So just leaving LAX here probably within the next hour or so. But as you know, the show must go on. So I'm excited to be here with you guys. And more importantly, I'm excited to hear from Mark and Bryce today. These guys literally run, in my opinion, I'm just one man, but my humble opinion, one of the best card shows in the States right now. And you guys are brand spanking new. Like you've had your branding as a Pittsburgh card show, and this is officially, like, I believe, your second show, but it's been one of the biggest in our region so far.
Anthony, thank you for that. Mark and I are working very hard to bring what we feel is one of the best shows, as you have said, to the area, putting together the dealers from all over the area. I believe we have dealers from 11 states at this current show coming up on June 17th, and the greatest collectors in the hobby. And I believe that's, the Pittsburgh, the Ohio, the West Virginia, Maryland collectors. It's a huge collector market, and I think a show like this was needed. And after talking it over with Mark, we decided to go 1,000% at it. And that's what we've been doing since November, when we signed on to do the first show in March, and coming back with our second one in June.
Yeah.
So, from experience, I will say the first show was head over heels, like better than I could have expected it to be. My table was slamming. I barely had time to even leave to go shop around the other tables. I had that many buyers at my table. I had people coming that wanted to sell me stuff, which was really awesome. My buddy Marty actually did better buying than he even did selling. He crushed it selling at the show. So tons of opportunity for action, basically from start to finish. I'm just excited to see kind of where you guys are going to go with the second one, and any kind of new things you guys might have planned or anything like that you'd want to talk about.
So wait, hold on. So if Marty sold more than he bought, that's like got to be the first time ever.
Yeah, he was crushing it, man. Like he brought some really nice stuff to the show. He's actually bringing some even nicer stuff. I just got, while I was in LA, 2 PSA orders for him back. So coming to the channel probably next week will be 2 like really fire PSA reveals. But he got some cards that are going to be like probably multi-$1,000 cards. Like his Tom Brady one-of-ones finally back. Like some absolute disgusting fire.
Do you want me to bring up the flyer while you guys talk about what's happening with the show?
Sure.
So here's their flyer, gang. Pittsburgh, here it is. Like, you know what? Hey, I'll give it to you guys. You guys go ahead and, talk about it, what you want to talk about, and go from there. Floor is your guys.
Well, I'll just say this, starting right out of the gate, once again, we appreciate you bringing us on the show and everything. You got a great quality show out there, and we appreciate it every Wednesday. We listen to it on a regular basis and everything, and appreciate the opportunity to be on the show. But going to our show now, it is going to be outrageous, is the best word I can really put out there. It is larger than the last show. The last show we had 175 tables. We are, I don't know, can I say it, Bryce?
Say it.
We're over 300 tables, folks.
Holy cow, that's awesome.
We are going to blow the roof off of it. We have dealers from 11 states coming in. We have a big New York presence coming down. We have a big Columbus presence coming to this show. We got a lot of really great giveaways. We have Gem Mint Club. They have brand new cases out on the market, and they will be making a debut at our show. And we're going to give a couple of these cases away. So, definitely you come to the show, please come up to the show kiosk and register for your door prizes. Some of our door prizes, we're giving away autographed pitchers, autographed pucks, autographed baseballs, some cards, some graded cards, these showcases, plus many, many more. There's not a show in the country giving away more items and stuff that we are. We have goodie bags for all the kids because the kids are the absolute future of the hobby, and we want to make our shows very kid friendly as well and very family friendly, especially coming out on Father's Day weekend. Really looking forward towards that. And we have a couple big announcements for the show. We'd like to welcome Great Sports Cards out of the Ohio region. Great up and coming vendor there in Logan. Great guy, great cards. He's always buying and selling large at the shows. And speaking of buying and selling large at the shows, Big Boyd Sports Cards. Chad Smith will be in the house, one of the biggest vendors in the country. And we're really excited to have him at the show. And, just overall, the quality of vendors that we're having at the show, just how they reach out and helping us advertise the show. The card community comes together, and, we're quite fortunate enough for them to be coming together at our show. So we're really looking forward towards that. And, got a lot of big things going on for the show.
And I think one of the things that really makes our show unique is the size of this show. To offer free parking and free admission is very unusual at most shows.
Yes,
This
it
is a national size show with, free admission, free parking, goodie bags for the kids, as Mark said, and thousands of dollars in door prizes, and really unique dealers in that we have a lot of vintage at the show, a lot of really quality vintage. There's a lot of hockey at the show. We have soccer at the show. Alan Marshall's coming in from Ohio. He's the foremost soccer expert with a great display of soccer cards coming in. We have a lot of Pokemon that'll be at the show for the kids and the Pokemon collectors. There's high end. I mean, there's at least 4 or 5 dealers coming in that I know of that'll have $1 million selections of high end cards. We've got, football, basketball, baseball, sealed product. There will be a ton of sealed product at this show, both hobby and retail. Supplies. We have the Shells guys that are going to be there. We have sports cards, Jeremy Jenkins, a BCW distributor. So really, if you're a collector, this is the show for you. You can spend all day and you might not even see the whole show, but there will be a variety for everything. Whatever you collect, there'll be somebody selling it at this show.
So looking at the flyer, 2 things that pop out to me. It's one, I see Nash Cards. I know they are a big group submitter. Are they doing any of that type of stuff there?
I actually just got off the phone with Nash Cards earlier today, and an announcement with Nash Cards. Nash Cards is now going strictly PSA submitting right now. They have dropped SGC and Beckett focusing, and I just truly believe that that's a great move because a lot of people like I personally like SGC as well, but if you're going to resell or anything else, you're not getting the value as you are with a PSA card for on the resale side of everything. So I like that move by Nash Cards. And, that's another thing, bring your cards to come and get graded. Their service is second to none in the country. Probably the best group submitter. There's a lot of good ones out there, but their customer service is absolutely amazing. And Jess and her husband and Chris down in Nashville, they do a great job with everyone, and their online portal is really simple and easy to use. and just come on out to the show. You sit down with them for a couple minutes, put in your cards, and a month later, or maybe a couple days longer than that, you'll get your cards back and be off and running. They really make the whole submitting into a greater a real easy process.
Excellent.
Yeah,
I mean, like you said,
I was gonna say I've seen them at a lot of different card shows, like especially even with like you talk about SGC. SGC openly touted Nash as like one of their top three submitters, like in their entire company. So
Yeah.
that right there just shows like the level, that Nash Cards does this. I would say just from my own personal opinion, like I would have to agree with you. It's good in the sense that they niched down solely based on an operational standpoint. Like they'll be able to process many more cards now that they're not processing several different types of cards to send to different places. So basically he was doubling and tripling the work to say send cards to SGC or then to Beckett. So like I fully understand why he came out and said he was doing that. But yeah, I mean, super nice guy. If you ever get a chance to meet him at a show, come on out and drop some cards off.
Yeah, NASCAR's really a great class, individual company, and the people that they send up, that they're awesome. And they are actually getting ready to open up a new location out over in the Philadelphia King of Prussia area. That
wow.
should be open maybe mid-July or so.
Road trip.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at it, like you're saying, that many vendors, over 300 vendors, free admission, free parking is just crazy for a show that big. I can honestly say, I mean, I've seen shows that have been, half that size, if not less than half that size, and you're charging for parking and admission, which is absolutely crazy. The sealed product, you have YouTubers, you have the, you have the, the giveaways. I mean, what else do we have going on here? And then we have we have all the guests there. Have
Speaking of
autographs,
which, like
people doing
shout
autographs.
out to actually Jab's family. He did a video. If you guys really want to see how crazy the last show was, check out Jab's family, like trying to get through the hallways of the mall. And you just see the entire like place is just hordes and hordes of like people just going for cards. It's amazing.
Yeah.
So if you guys haven't had a chance to check out Jab's coverage of the show, he did a really great video on it.
Yep. We got guys signing autographs. I mean, if you're in the area and you're you're in the hobby and you don't go, I mean, I hope you're doing something that's better than this, because again, free to get in and just walk around and hope, who knows what you're going to see is amazing for me. So I think it's, I think it's going to be unbelievable what you guys are going to do, at the show and stuff and everything.
And this show, Michael, is really great for buying and selling. The action that was happening at the March show and the ability to have a show like this where, you're not dropping money on big autograph guests, you're not dropping money at the admission door or the parking lot. You can go in, you got that extra money in your pocket to spend. The dealers were real active buying, as Anthony said Chef was buying, but there was a lot of action selling. And then there were a lot of the collectors dealing with each other at the show. It was just a lot of fun to see the action at the show. And that's what we're trying to give a location where you can come and have that kind of, correlation, that experience of buying, selling. And there was a ton of trading going on. Most shows anymore, it's impossible to trade. And it was fun to see all the trading happening too. This is a fun hobby. It's supposed to be a fun hobby. And we're really trying hard to make the show as not only family friendly, but as fun as it can be.
One thing that I really liked about the trade aspect of the show was this was actually the first show I've really seen with as many kids doing a trade-up challenge as there were. Like, I could probably count 15 to 20 different kids that I personally made a trade with, or that Chef personally made a trade with, just helping them trade up from like $1 to like whatever the big card they were chasing after that day was, which I thought that was like super cool. Like seeing like the next generation, like really all getting behind the idea of going to the show and really being active. So it was really cool to see.
Well, that's what's going to make this hobby and business grow and continue on. The kids have to be into it. We were all kids when we got into it, and we're still doing it today. So the kids have to be in it. And again, when you have free admission and you're giving, fun stuff away, and there's a lot to see, also I think one of the things that helps is we keep the table prices down for the dealers coming in. So as a dealer, when you have a little less expense, you can do a little better on deals. You're a little more active in trading. And of course, it's always fun to deal with the kids and have fun seeing the kids get excited and making deals and doing the trade up challenge or just, the wheeling and dealing aspect, because we all started doing this when we were younger.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of like the trade up challenges and the kids, I got to give a big shout out to Garrett from over at G&T Collect Sports Cards Plus. He and his dad run the local card shop. They were set up right next to me and Chef. And I swear, me and that kid might have done like 20 trades that day. But little grinder, man. I guarantee he might have done a trade with almost every vendor there. It was really cool to see.
That's what you need to have happen. So as you're growing, so to you guys, so you have the show, the first show, you have the second show. Are you guys? Are you starting to get more traction from people seeking you guys out rather than you maybe having to seek certain people out? Are you starting to get that? Them wanting to be a part of it.
I think it's a natural progression. If we do our job in promoting the show and advertising the show, and we bring in quality dealers to set up at the show, and you bring the collectors in, then I think it's just a natural progression where word starts traveling. The dealers are excited to set up at the show and do the show, so they're telling people. The collectors come out and have a great time. They're able to buy stuff, sell stuff, trade stuff. They're telling people, and it's that real positive word of mouth about how fun the show is, all the giveaways, how great the dealers were. Like, that is what will grow the show organically. And I think after the March show, we saw a lot of that. And we've heard the show being talked about in a lot of other shows, especially some of the bigger shows nationally. We've definitely seen an increase of dealers and vendors that want to do the show. We've increased the sponsors for the show. So if we keep doing our job, and Mark and I work very hard at this every day, but if we keep doing our job, then I think it'll just keep growing organically. And, we're going to promote the heck out of it. But I think ideally it's up to the dealers and the collectors and the kids to pass the word along. If it's a show worth going to and it's fun and everybody's doing well, then I think it just grows, and gets bigger from that.
That's awesome. I mean, it sounds like it's going to be a great time.
And one of the things with like this show coming up, couple of things, we always look back, what we could do to improve this show. What aspects can we do? Because every show is a learning experience, and you always want to make yourself better and move on from there. We have more Pokemon tables. There's a higher need for the TCG cards, the Pokemon cards, all that type of stuff. So there's a lot of Pokemon dealers that are going to be there at the show. We have food trucks coming in. We have a barbecue guy. We have a cupcake lady. We have Spuds and Suds coming in. Good quality food's going to be available at the show. And we are also giving back to the community a little bit. We're running a food drive at the show, and we ask all of our guests to, if you can, bring a canned good or two, or something to donate to the food bank. The Greater Washington County Food Bank will be there collecting food for a food drive. Different things. We're very appreciative of the community, the card community, and the community of Washington to welcome us to have the show there. And it's time we want to give back, and I'd love to have the card community come on out, bring some canned goods and give back with there as well.
And that's really awesome that you guys have a vision to take care of the community as well. And it's not just about, putting on a show and building something good for you guys, but you're genuinely trying to build a better Pittsburgh, which is just super awesome. You know what I mean? Your guys' hearts are in the right place. You genuinely put the hobby first, and you actually do care about the next generation, which I find to be very refreshing.
We appreciate
that's the big part. Like you're saying, the kid part is huge. I mean, it's a really big part of the hobby that all of us need to constantly make sure that we're going back to that, right? Going back to it and making about yes, it's the adults and we are the collectors, the investors, whatever you want to call us, but those kids, they're the ones that we're going to need. We need them to keep growing. We need them to go ahead and stay involved in the hobby. So as you guys are doing more stuff for the kids and so on and so forth, I mean, that's really cool. Yep. Oh, wait a minute. We didn't know we were getting Bully Ray on.
Wow, Bully Ray, ouch.
I don't know, that's a good thing. I don't think that's a bad thing.
Nah, that's good. Get the tables, Devon. Thank you very much.
I used to get compared to him
we
in
got
wrestling.
tables at our show.
I'd like to think I'm better looking than Bully Ray, at least a little bit.
That's awesome. That was a great reference.
I'm not even
Got the
commenting.
wrestling hat on.
No, but I
So
think
that must make Mark
like I
Devon
said,
then.
I think I like that you guys are looking at that part, that you're you're taking that as a major consideration when you're putting these on about the kids, and I think that's all. But I don't know of other shows that I'm not saying that other shows shy away from it, but I don't hear a lot of other shows promote it like you guys do.
Well, it is. There is a little crazy behind what we do. I know Mark's going to be humble here, but putting 6, 8, 10, 12, 14-hour days in every day from show to show is what we do. That is what promotion is. It's not just throwing a flyer up or putting one post up on social media. It's constant. It's every day. It's making phone calls. It's just nonstop. And I think the more that people see it, the more it strikes them that, hey, this is probably something we should go to. And we were real proud with, what happened in March. And the one nice thing about Mark and I, we're never going to be satisfied. We want to make every show better. We want to make them bigger. We want everyone to enjoy it. We want to keep adding in things that, we can improve on. But, I mean, that's what a card show is supposed to be. Fun, right? You're supposed to go. You're supposed to be able to buy, sell, trade, have fun, spend the day, maybe have a little lunch in between for a little break. But that's what a show is supposed to be. And, I set up at shows almost every weekend. Mark has done hundreds of shows over the years. And you learn a lot from a lot of the other shows on, good things you can do, but a lot of things that weren't done or they didn't do that we kind of took and we're putting into full effect a lot of these techniques that hopefully will help get the word out and spread the word and doing the right things. And again, it's all about bringing the dealers together with the collectors and everybody having a real fun day. There's nothing better than going to a card show, buying some cards, selling some cards, and having fun. That is a great day.
I agree.
So right now, are you just the Pittsburgh area?
Yes. We're going to do 4 shows next year at this location at Washington Crown Center. That being said, we are looking at doing an annual type show at a couple other locations. We're working on that. So hopefully we'll spread out a little bit. That being said, I think you don't want to spread yourself too thin, and we want to keep making the shows quality every time. And you can't spread yourself too thin. You can't, you can only do so much in the course of a day. So as long as the shows are doing well, we're definitely looking to do 1 or 2 outside of Pittsburgh on an annual basis. But Pittsburgh is our home base, and this location's right off of Route 70, so it's super easy to get to. Very easy to get to. That's why I think we're seeing a lot of Ohio people that are coming in for the show. We're getting a lot of West Virginia. It's not that far from Maryland, obviously all over Pennsylvania, and definitely people coming in from New York. And I hear we have some people coming in from Canada as well.
Oh, wow.
Absolutely. They were very pleased too, Mark. So thank you very much for reopening that block for them.
Oh, not a
Very
problem.
thankful.
Yeah, we had a hotel block with the Hometown Suites and a couple other hotels out there available for all of our shows, where we try and get our guests and vendors a discounted rate by buying in bulk in advance. So, we can try and help the cost and curb the cost of the shows and everything, because the less money the dealers have to spend with hotel rooms and everything, that's the more maneuverability they have with deals and everything as well. So we can pass it on to the card community.
And I had mentioned about the table prices. I believe Firestarter had asked. The tables we sell are 8-foot tables, and they're $75 a table. If you take 2 or more, they're $70, and if you take 3 or more, they're $65. So, a 1-day rental fee, keeping it under that price point. A lot of shows are 100, 100 quarter, 150. So some of the bigger shows that you get, you're paying 250, 300 for a table. Well, you throw hotel and food and gas on top of that, tolls. It's real hard to cut deals and sell and buy when you are in heavy at a show. So we're trying to keep the costs down all the way around, and that helps out the dealers, which in turn allows them to have a little more money to spend, plus give some better deals.
Yeah, because 8-foot table, for that price, that's really good. You could, because you could put a lot of stuff out on an 8-foot table.
And there's plenty of space behind for the dealers too. So a lot of them use backup tables or have shelving. We try and give the dealers plenty of space behind them, so they're not rubbing elbow to elbow. And then, of course, we want as much space as possible for the collectors coming into the show.
Wow.
Yeah, we try
this would definitely
and be professional about it. All of our tables, they're all skirted and tablecloth and everything. You're not going into a bare table or anything. And, we aesthetically want the show to look good, and, just make sure everyone has a good time. We're going to do our job in advertisements through all of our wonderful methods of advertising. If it's, online, print, radio, whatever it might be that we're doing to advertise, even if we reach out to, accidentally hit someone's family or whatever advertising, we can, that happens. And, we're just trying to advertise the show and hit the most amount of masses that are out there and get them to the show. Because once you come to the show, you will be back. It's a great time. The last show, we went at it pretty hard, and we had an excellent turnout, and we were extremely happy with that, and heard some really good reviews. Even one of the YouTube guys called it a mini national, which was like the biggest form of flattery right there.
I'll tell you another compliment is it reminded a lot of people of shows back in the late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah.
And if you guys can remember how the business was back then, that is an incredible compliment, because shows back in the late 80s, early 90s, that was like a boom we've never seen. Right. And it was an amazing time to be in the card business. So I thought that was a really great compliment too. And Anthony, you can speak to this. Don't you feel that the prices in the Pittsburgh market and Pittsburgh area, it's a really good buying market? Don't you agree? Maybe Anthony doesn't agree. I tell people all the time when I travel and do shows, I buy 90% of my merchandise and cards in the Pittsburgh area, and I sell 90% outside the Pittsburgh area.
Oh wow!
I find the Pittsburgh pricing to be very competitive, very fair, and a lot of the dealers and vendors are just really easy to deal with and love working deals. And you don't necessarily see that at every show in the Midwest or down south or east.
You want to ask Anthony your question again, Bryce?
Anthony, I don't know if you heard that, but don't you feel that the Pittsburgh area is a really good market for buying cards? As far as like the pricing, the competitive, just how easy it is to deal with a lot of the dealers. I find that a lot of other
Oh,
shows, a lot of
100%.
other states, it's not nearly as easy to buy cards.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And just a comment on what you guys were talking about even before that with the low cost of tables. Just a lot of the shows I've been to around the country, you know what I mean? Just like trying to factor in like break-in cost or break-even cost, with you guys like offering, probably as many, if not, more tables than some of these big shows. You know what I mean? For a fraction of the buy-in is huge. And I love that mini national, but honestly, I would liken it more to a mini Dallas card show because there's more action happening and more people making money. Whereas a lot of times the national just becomes a museum with guys looking at cards and guys not wanting to come off of prices. Like from my experience, there's wheeling and dealing going on left and right, and that has a Dallas vibe all over it to me.
True. That's definitely something. So as you guys are building the show and you're setting up the show and stuff like that, I mean, is it from a vendor perspective, is it a first come, first serve, or is there a map? And if I want to do a table, I can kind of sort of see like who might be around me and go, wow, I'm selling the same stuff as them, so I may not want to be right next to them. I want to be a few tables down or so and so, like that type of stuff.
All right, I'll take this one. So I'm working on the floor plan as we speak. Basically, the show's a very unique setup. There's two main entrances. So when you come in either of those entrances, there are blocks of tables. And then it's one long stretch of aisleway that has the other blocks of tables. So I guess the best way to describe it, the first show was like a giant U. And when I was setting it up, I have a very good idea of a lot of who, the dealers and vendors. Most of these guys I've set up at shows with, I've known for years. Even some of the new guys coming in that I don't know, I try and talk to them, get to know them, figure out what they sell. So we try and accommodate the dealers if they want to be near somebody or set up next to someone. We obviously want to do that because then they can help one another. But we try and spread out. I don't want to put 5 Pokemon vendors next to each other.
Mm-hmm.
So we try and spread it out so that throughout the show, there's a nice selection and variety, and everyone is kind of, got their own spot. The vintage guy, same thing. So it takes a lot of time, but, we try and put together the best setup possible, keeping guys where they want to be or who they want to be by, but also spreading it out and making it, for this show, we have it sectioned in like 6 sections. So whatever section you go into, you're going to see vintage, hockey, baseball, football, basketball, graded, raw, sealed product. You can just spend time in one section of the show and you're going to see a variety of stuff.
Wow.
But there's going to be 6 sections full of this variety. So, and of course, the dealers that did the first show, a lot of them booked and wanted their same spot. So we'll be working around their spots to put everyone else. But there's really no bad spots at the show. Everyone's in a line. Everyone's together. And again, when you get the people coming in, I'm sure, will check out the entire show and see everybody's setup.
Yes, that's one. I like the way it is because there's a couple of shows here that they over time they've gotten larger, but they haven't changed the location. They use, there's a hotel, but now it's like, okay, hey, you have this room over here, then you got to go down the hallway and go down 2 more rooms, and then there will be on the right, and you got to go down, down the other hallway, and then go over to the left and stuff like that. So you wind up going in and out of these rooms and and walking all over the place where it's like, not for nothing, guys. You're big enough. You should get, a place where everybody could be together. It might even be more successful.
Well, this Washington Crown Center location has been fantastic. It was not our original location, but it has turned out to be an absolute blessing. They have been very, cordial in letting us do what we need to do to make it, work. And it's definitely big in size. I think it's over 1 million square feet. So there's plenty of space and room. And I think Anthony can attest to this. When you walk in, whichever entrance, when you look down one way and then you look down the other way, and all you see is just table after table after table the whole way down. And that was the last show. This show is going to be almost double that size. It is going to be something to see. And I really hope there's a lot of people that come out to the show. Get your phones out, take pictures, take video, this is going to be something awesome to put up on your Facebook or your YouTube, and kind of show it off, just to show it's going to look a lot bigger than it is, but it's a really big show.
Yeah, definitely. And a lot of these shows, like you'll see, they might have like a corner of a mall or something like that. You guys were literally like an entire horseshoe of like wrapping around the mall. And this time I would imagine you might even make it the full way around, which was pretty awesome. And like where we were in probably the less trafficy area, but I noticed like that what kind of made up for having less foot traffic was the fact that people spent more time with us. Whereas like the more heavily populated stuff, people were more in and out. Whereas like people really took their time when they came to our tables. So I feel like we might have gotten like more like deals as far as like stuff we were able to buy and acquire just because they spent more time with us. So there's definitely pros and cons to basically being set up anywhere there.
That's really good. That's really good. Yeah, I mean, I'll have to figure out when I can go ahead and get up there, see how things can happen, because I definitely would love to come up and be a part of it and see and do some shopping, then
Come set up with me and Chef.
hang out behind Anthony's table.
That would be fantastic, Michael. We'd love to have you, buddy.
It'll happen sooner or later. I just got to figure out, put it all together. I'll be up there.
And just to let you know, too, we have Black and Gold breaks at the show. They're going to be doing a lot of live breaks at the show. Some
very
high-end
cool
breaks as well. You want to go to their Facebook page, check them out. I believe this week or next week they'll be registering spots for breaks at the show and everything. And they'll be breaking a lot of high-end stuff as well. Really great breakers, and a lot of fun there. And another big announcement coming to you right now. We are going to bring back the banner sale. There hasn't been a big banner sale in Pittsburgh in 15 to 20 years. We've acquired. Well, Bryce, go ahead. Let them know
Well,
what
we
we
did.
got.
We acquired the banners that hang up for the Penguins, Steelers, and Pirates during the season for the playoffs, the big player banners, the Stanley Cup champion banners, like all those banners that hang up around the arena and the stadiums. We just made a major purchase of over 400 of these banners.
Awesome.
They are awesome and amazing. A lot of them are 3 foot by 5 foot. Some are 4 foot by 6, 4 foot by 8. But these are the actual banners that hung around the stadiums, and they range from 2007 up to 2023.
Oh,
So
wow.
we even got a couple of Royal Rumble banners in there from 2014 when they were at the PPG Paints Arena, which was Consol Energy
awesome.
Center at the time.
I was there for that.
Amazing. So and the Penguin banners are beautiful. We've got Malkin, Letang, all of the guys that have played over the last 10 or 12 years. So we're going to have them on display for the first time at the show next Saturday, June 17th, Washington Crown Center. We'll have a huge display of those banners. Even if you can't fit them or put them in the man cave, just to see these things are absolutely awesome.
That's really cool. Oh, and there he goes again. That's really cool. I can't remember. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that before at a show.
They are amazing. And that's the cool part about going to a show too. Some of the stuff you see there, like there's a lot of great stores, but at a show when you have a nice variety, a lot of times you'll just see stuff you never see. Whether it's a Mantle rookie or an autographed Jordan card, like just crazy stuff. It's really fun to see the sheer variety of stuff you see at a show.
Now, I know you're going to have everything, but being in an area without a professional basketball team actually in the city, and more, but having a hockey team, obviously, baseball, football, and everything. Do you see more of more hockey people than you would, let's say, basketball people coming to your show?
That's a loaded question. Hockey is huge in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Penguin hockey, for as long as I can remember, we've always had several superstars on the team, from, the great Mario Lemieux to Crosby, to Malkin, Letang, Marc-Andre Fleury, those type of players.
You better say Flurry.
I know. I had to get him in there. But one of the nice things, too, is just our location. We're 2 hours from Cleveland. And I know a guy that just popped back up on screens, a pretty big Cavs fan as well. And
Michael, I just want to jump in, Mark, and say LeBron, Kobe, and Jordan sell everywhere. So the big three definitely sell in Pittsburgh.
Yep.
I think we lack a little bit in basketball with some of the newer and younger players because we don't have a team. But like Mark said, hockey sells, and of course, football and baseball always sell.
Oh, yeah.
I'm real heavy into selling basketball, and I always have a really easy time locally, mainly because there's so many Cleveland fans locally too, and guys that travel from Ohio over to a lot of the shows.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of expected that. Like I said, I just didn't. I was just wondering because when you look at some of the other areas, like I know here and stuff, when you go to a show, I mean, you're lucky if you find hockey cards. Because I mean, I mean, Atlanta had a great distinction of not only losing one hockey team, they lost two hockey teams, for lack of support and stuff. So, so we don't have that opportunity to find. I mean, you'll have that one, and you can almost picture the guy who does have it because his boxes wind up being empty because he's like the only guy who has hockey here. So, no matter what you're looking for. And, but also here, you'll get better deals because there is no hockey. So on hockey stuff,
Makes a lot of sense. One thing I will say, outside of Canadian shows, I'd say Pittsburgh probably has one of the best selections of hockey cards I've seen. Like almost every local show I go to, I see the guy that has like the entire piece of the Penguins and like crazy, like short printed Mario. Like this one dude, like literally shows up with like at least 12 Lemieux rookie cards every single show, from Okichi, Tops, whatever. Like it's just insane the selection that you'll find some of these local guys that have just been collecting forever. But yeah, I mean, hockey's a great market locally. Baseball's super big. Football's like obviously king because of the Steelers. Like you're basically swaddled in a terrible town, Pittsburgh.
Yeah, one of our sponsors, First and Gold Collectibles, they will have an amazing selection of hockey. A lot of Lemieux rookies will be there as well. Plus the autographed pictures and memorabilia. He's probably one of the biggest hockey guys in the region, and he'll be there at the show over in the corporate area. And really looking forward to have Mark there. Just bringing all the hockey stuff as well. Plus, there's a lot of other vendors that will be there as well with hockey, and we have a nice outreach of people coming from the Buffalo area as well for the first time to the show, and they'll be bringing a lot of hockey stuff as well.
Now, you guys will have some autographs going on. You guys want to talk about that for a little bit?
Well, we've got 10 of the Pitt Panther football players coming. MJ Devonshire was actually an autograph guest we had back at the March show, and seemed to really enjoy it, had a good time. So he's bringing 9 of his teammates along this time.
Nice.
We got several of the defensive starters there. We got a couple of the offensive starters. Elliot Donald's going to be there. That is Aaron Donald's nephew. And Pitt is they're supposed to be pretty good this year. They got Phil Dracovic at quarterback, so they could make some strides in the ACC. So we're real excited. Fifth Avenue Sports and Justin are bringing the guys in. They'll all be there from 2 to 4. And what's cool about this is you can get the individual player autographs, but then there's a super ticket for all 10. And so if you're a Pitt fan, a college football fan, or several of these guys will get drafted next year, just want to get a head start on the draft next year, this will be a great opportunity to get these guys probably cheaper now than you'll ever be able to get them.
Oh, yeah, because, once their name gets called, it changes.
It completely changes everything. The price goes up.
Yep, it changes everything. That's pretty cool.
I love that these guys are able to start making some money off their likenesses now with like the NIL deals or whatnot too. I mean,
it's long overdue, Anthony.
Absolutely.
Long overdue.
I mean, with as many people that actually care about Pitt football in Pittsburgh, You know what I mean? Actually being able to like get these guys to come out and actually like take care of them for coming out and seeing the people that care about them is really cool.
Yeah, and what I like is and a lot of people may miss this though, but if you look right there, selfies and lean-in photos are free. That's another one of those things. You don't see a lot of that kind of stuff. A lot of that is, hey, you want to take a selfie? Hey, that's $5 more, $10 more, or whatever the number is. So that's another pretty cool thing also.
Michael, the other thing that's real nice too, we're not moving people through like cattle. You're going to be able to talk to these guys, shake their hands, get the selfie, ask them about the season coming up. There's actual real interaction. We like bringing in the autograph guests at each show, but we don't want, we don't want to bring in these $150, $200, $250 guys. We want to bring in guys that are affordable. You can get a couple autographs very affordably and actually have time with the players. And if there's a Pitt fan that wants to talk to any of these guys, they're all going to be available. And you're going to, like I said, you're going to be able to talk to them, wish them well, ask them a question or two, take a selfie. And that's part of the whole experience of really making it a fun show.
That's awesome to hear, because just from experience, like, for example, with Steel City Con, they bring in like celebrities for autographs all the time. I went and I paid for like the special meet and greet with Britt Baker. And they rushed me through so quick that, like, literally just for her to look at the camera and say, like, subscribe to Picksburgh, they wanted me to pay just to come through a second time, just because we had already taken, like, a quick selfie or a quick picture. It's, like, insane, you know what I mean? Like, just something, like, so simple that would take, like, seconds. It's awesome that you guys have, like, made that available and given people actual access to these people, you know what I mean? More so than, like, all right, here's a quick picture, get the heck away from them type stuff.
Yeah, that's really good. Like I said, the whole thing. I mean, it sounds like it's good to see the young kids and everything, and again, to us, we look at them, the guys who are signing the autographs, very different than, but you take an 8-year-old kid who likes football and even who likes Pittsburgh football, and now he gets to go there and get a picture with Elliott Donald. It's like that's like one of the probably the best things that happens to him, that year, if not, for a very long time, of meeting all these guys and then talking to him and interacting. So it's great that they're able to go ahead and, and spend the time and all that kind of stuff. So that's awesome. Look, there was somebody else.
There he is.
Oh, two. Oh my God. I better shave. I know this. I would not mess with Bully Ray.
Was that Blaze who made that comment?
It was, yes. And he'll be coming back to the show again this time as well.
He says, last time Washington was an amazing show.
Thank you, Blaze.
Feel.
Glad you had a good time.
Thanks for keeping it going.
This one's going to be even crazier. Plan on spending all day. There's going to be a lot to see.
And got to give him a shout out too for his YouTube station there. He got a great show talking about wrestling all the time as well.
Yep, Blazed Radio. He covers indie wrestling. He'll cover like WWE, AEW stuff. He also does like the play-alongs with his E-Fed. He's even doing a little gardening stuff now. So definitely check out my guy Blaze McCoy. During football season, you can see him cover some of the NFL games during Sunday Ticket. So
did I see
super awesome guy too.
Did I see him in a referee jersey at a show?
He was announcing for a little while there for some of the local shows. Yep. I actually got to go see his debut. It was pretty awesome. He crushed it.
That's awesome.
Hey, Blaze, when you're at the show, stop by and see me. We'll talk wrestling, pal.
And he won't give you the Bully Ray treatment, I promise.
You might get the Tony Hansen treatment, but not the Bully Ray treatment.
I'll bring the singlet just in case.
There you go. Just don't bring the Speedo.
Yeah, so as far as you two, I don't think we've ever asked this question. How did you two come to be friends, i.e. form this partnership for the show?
Well, Mark, we've known
besides
each other
the
a long
time you asked
right?
him to get the tables.
Yeah, I've known Bryce for years, doing the show circuit, seeing each other at shows, doing deals together and everything. And after pandemic, really felt a need to really put together not just a card show, but an event. And there are a lot of card shows that are out there, and they're card shows. We try and make our card shows into an event, by doing different things for the kids. Last show, like you saw them there, the pirate parrot. You got your picture with the parrot, Anthony, and kids of all ages. But we try and do what other people are not doing. But we were seeing a lot of people are really picking up the promotion game in the country. There's the Susquehanna show out there in Indiana that was just a couple weeks ago, and that guy out there, he is absolutely doing it right. Just really doing a lot of good things out there, and you have the Dallas Card Show that grows exponentially show after show and is always a good time, and a lot of great deals down there, and a lot of stuff out there. So there's a lot of people that we look up to out there, and on a local level, we have the effing show king, Joe Shedlock. He's
Joe Sports Cards.
Yep, he's
He's the
greatest
king.
guy in the hobby, period. Just on a regional level and everything, he's amazing, and we've learned a lot from him. And we just want to follow the footsteps of promoters like that, and put our own spin to everything, and just try and make every show that much a little better than the show before that.
I think we started talking about this about a year and a half ago. We were kind of throwing ideas out at the shows that we were set up at. And then finally, I think Mark twisted my arm and said, we need to do this. And so that's when we finally decided to start doing it. And, there's a lot of stress involved and there's a lot of pressure involved. But I got to tell you, at the end of the day, we're having a lot of fun with it. And again, I think that's why we got all into this business, was to have fun. Oh, the Moeller Show is a very good show. They've been running that for years. It's an excellent show.
Yeah, and the Mahler Show, day after Thanksgiving, by far one of the best shows in the country. I've been going to that show day after Thanksgiving. It's a tradition. Absolutely tradition. There you go, Blaze.
Well, I will say this. I'm very comfortable in saying that this show is worth a trip from anywhere. I don't think you're going to be disappointed, whether you're looking to buy, looking to sell, trade, both. Just see what's out there. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 hours. This show is worth the trip from anywhere.
So did you guys,
Absolutely.
was there something missing in the Pittsburgh show market that you guys saw, and that's made you, want to get better and better at it?
I think the problem, it's a great market with a ton of collectors. The problem was we had, there's it used to be the Robert Morris Show. Now it's the Monroeville Show. That was once a year. And that's really focused on vintage memorabilia and autographs. And then there's Joe does about 10 mall shows in the area. And as far as Pittsburgh goes, that was pretty much it for shows. You go into Ohio, there's 4, 5, 6, 7 shows every single weekend. You go down into Maryland, there's shows every weekend. Virginia's got shows every weekend. But, in the Pittsburgh area and West Virginia, in that area there, I mean, you're seeing a show a month, maybe, or sometimes you'll see 2 shows in a month, but then it'll go 3 or 4 months with no shows. So what we tried to fill in some gaps and do a big show and try and make it bigger each time so that it's definitely worth coming to. But do it in between some of the other shows, so do, like for a year, like a quarterly show to mix in with the other local shows, so that we all kind of complement one another. And I think that's great for the dealers and it's great for the collectors.
I like the quarterly show aspect of it because we really, outside of like that big Monroeville show, which really is high in vintage and like more memorabilia. So if you're like more into ultra modern or like, the weird stuff like me, like you might not find a bunch of that there. And that's like really the biggest show we have all year. So now that you guys are providing like an outlet to have a big show that people can travel to like actually meet up with, like, and providing another big regional show on the East Coast, I just think it's huge for the hobby. Definitely for the Pittsburgh area, because like you were saying, we have a severe lack of it. And I didn't realize how bad it really was until like I spent a year living in Los Angeles, and like literally there's multiple card shows every single weekend. You know what I mean? And it's just not like that locally. You know what I mean? Like that's why, sometimes you'll see me and Marty in Ohio, sometimes you'll see us in West Virginia or wherever, because we just don't have enough locally. So the fact that you guys are willing to step up and be like, hey, we're not only going to make more available locally, but we're going to actually bring some that are like really awesome to town, which I'm all on board for.
We
you, man.
appreciate you.
Lay's saying he agrees. It's a show you need to travel to. Great selection, awesome vendors.
Thank
We
you, Blaze.
appreciate that. And Anthony, as you know from being out in the LA area and everything, like Burbank Sports Cards, the Codfather, his son, they got a good family affair going out there. And the Burbank show now is really an event you don't want to miss. I believe they ran 2 of them now, and each show was bigger and better, and it's more an event, more in the Dallas card show level, that type of thing. But they're focused on a lot of vendors as well, and that was one of our key things that we want to focus our show. It's great to have some autograph guests and everything, but it's focusing on the vendors and the card community itself. They are the show. We have some autograph guests and the pit kids there for this show and everything. They're a great compliment to the show, but the real show is all about the vendors that we bring in and that are set up, and they do their thing at the show and everything. And that's we couldn't do any of it without the great vendors that we have, and the wonderful people that come on and show us their support. And hopefully they come out on the 17th of June, bring a couple of canned goods, and we're really looking forward to this show as well. Our next show after this show is going to be October 14th. And then we are, Michael, no excuse. There's no wedding for you to go to. we expect for you to come on up and do a
There is
nice
no
little
wedding.
live broadcast at the October 14th show. But next year, our big announcement, February 3rd and 4th, we are going 2 days. This show
Wow.
is growing too big for a 1-day show, so we are expanding for 2 days, and we're going to be doing a trade night as well before the show on that Friday. Then May 4th, may the 4th be with you, and May 5th is our next show for 2024. So we have those 2 dates right now, plus the October date this year. Um, you know, Dealers, if you are set up with us, you will have first choice to get those dates reserved in. And those tables will be going fast because we're making it more. It's not just a card show, it's an event. And, we're really looking to do a lot of bigger and different things in the market out there right now and just trying to take it to another level.
Yeah, Dusty from Rippleford in Pittsburgh. Since they're still a small town, marketing and collabs to present things better and stay in line with the small city multi-generational love. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, we definitely have a lot of support from some of the promoters in and around the area, and we also are very supportive of a lot of the other shows in and around the area. And we have encouraged every promoter that we've talked to come and set up at our show. Talk about their show, spread the word about their show. We've got Joe Shedlock, Joe Sports Cards is set up at the show. He runs the local mall shows. We have Mel Ruby coming in from Ohio. He promotes several shows out in Ohio. So that's one thing. If the promoters actually help one another and work with one another, it will make all of the shows better. And, Mark, he started the PittsburghCardShow.com. There's a show calendar on there. So, again, another way to spread the word about upcoming shows in and around the area. And that's one thing we're real big on, too. we're trying to make our show as good as it can be. But if the other shows, we want to make sure the collectors and the car community know that there are a lot of other shows out there, and the shows are a lot of fun to go to and buy at and wheel and deal at. So we want to make sure that if everyone's working together, trying to make it better, that's better for everybody, as opposed to fighting one another or feuding with one another. Or, we work really hard on picking out the dates, that there's no confliction with other shows, no confliction with shows that are close. So, and again, helping out the promoters, that's a win-win for the collectors and the dealers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. I mean, because there's always something different. The same cards don't show up at every show because they show up one time, they get bought, and then they go away. So I mean, you're always going to have the different stuff. And as you guys say, as you grow, you get bigger and everything, more vendors, different mix. Congratulations, fellas. You're doing it the right way, and you can see it already just after in the just these two shows alone and everything. So you guys are doing it the right way.
We're trying. Thank you, Michael.
Yeah,
and I think it is because you're putting the hobby first. And in my opinion, that's the way I look at it. You're putting the hobby first. And when you put the hobby first, everything else will fall in line.
I agree. 100%. Yes, Blaze will be in Uniontown the week after. And on Saturday, if you come out on Saturday, come in the afternoon, you'll see a special treat. I'll be doing a kids pack attack. And a pack attack is basically something I've done for going on 18 years now. But I do these pack attacks for the collectors. And basically, I just give a ton of stuff away. We rip a lot of packs, and we have a lot of fun. And I started doing the kids pack attacks about a year and a half ago, and it is so much fun watching these kids open packs and winning cards and prizes and other packs. It is an absolute blast. I'll be doing that in Uniontown. I can't do them at our show. There's not enough time. I'm running around all day, but we will be doing stuff like that in Uniontown on Saturday the 24th. So definitely stop by and come down.
Yeah.
And we do listen, I bought my first card when I was 8 years old with my dad. I sold my first card at 9 years old, and it's all I've ever done. And I know I look 29, but I'm actually 50. So I've been in the business 41 years, and I'm certainly not in it for the money. So I'm in it because I love what I do. I love sorting cards, going through cards, the whole buying and selling, and the whole camaraderie. Thank you, Blaze. The whole camaraderie is it's a lot of fun. And, they say, if you love what you do, you've never worked a day in your life. So my wife might not agree, but I am proud to say I've never worked a day in my life.
I agree.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I agree.
That's very cool.
Also, I will throw a plug out too, and I'm sure Mark won't mind me saying this. It is not just Mark and I. It is a team effort. Mark's wife and Mark's son are very helpful just in letting Mark spend the 20 hours a day working on the show. And my wife, she is the big boss. She is the rock, and she is certainly the brains of the whole operation. It is not me. So, I can lift the tables and I can set the stuff up, but this is not possible without the support of our families.
Without a doubt, our families are amazing. And Bryce's wife, Lori, she's one in a million. She does so much stuff for the show that nobody truly understands how nice all the signs look at the shows. Helps us with printing, helps us with designing stuff, and just her overall knowledge is amazing. And we appreciate her more than anybody will ever.
If anyone thinks those flyers are coming from me, they are not. That is all my wife. So,
but here you go. So, hey, folks are saying, you're in the area Saturday the 17th, 9 to 4. Look at that. Right after that, free admission, free parking. You don't get this at shows this big. It says 250 tables.
Oh no, it's well over 300.
Mark had already told us earlier it is way above that number. You have autographs. You have everything you can go ahead and think of. If you're in the area and you're in the hobby, and you're not going, hopefully there's something more important in your life going on, but you need to figure out a way to get there if you can sometime at that point. I think I'm going to tell you right now, you're telling me from 9 to 4. My math is right. That's 7 hours. How the hell is somebody going to get through over 300 tables in 7 hours?
Get there at 8 and plan to stay till 5 or 6. Hey, it's Father's Day weekend. What a great way to say, Dad, we love you.
Yeah.
Granddad, we love you. Uncle Joe, we love you. Come to the show. Mom, and there's shopping you can do at the mall. There's Tanger Outlets is close by. Drop Dad off the show. Let him have some fun. And it really is a fun family day.
Yeah, Blaze.
Yeah. And
that
I will
is
say
double,
this.
Blaze. That is correct.
Yeah, and also, doors open at 9 a.m. But I'm not gonna lie to you. If you're there a little bit beforehand, like 20 minutes, a half hour, whatever it might be, you will be coming into the show. We are not.
Yeah, we had a lot of people there getting there at 8:30 last show, so they got to jump on the show for sure.
And that's awesome too, because I know a lot of places will have people waiting around the side of the building, and I'm sure you guys will to some extent. But it's nice to know that you're willing to let people get a jump start on coming in and getting some deals. Because, in my opinion, that's the most valuable time. Like if you can be one of the first people into those bargain boxes, that's where you make the money.
Anthony, there's going to be a lot of bargain boxes at this show. So believe me, if there's 1,000 people at 8 o'clock, there's going to be plenty of bargain boxes for everybody to go through.
I'm sure.
I'll say this too: if you are nice enough to come to our show, what time you come to the door, it's open. Come on in.
And make sure we have the card show kiosk right in the middle of the show. Make sure you stop by. The card show kiosk has information on all the upcoming shows. It'll have the information on our next show. Also, you can sign up for the door prizes there. We have the goodie bags for the kids there. So the first 50 or 60 kids, however many bags we make up, stop by the card show kiosk. Check out all the fun and exciting stuff we have going on there.
Awesome. So let me ask you this. Is there anything specific that you guys are going to be giving away this time around? Like any really big prizes you haven't announced yet, or that you can announce yet, I should say?
Anthony, we're going to put some pictures up on social next week and on the website of some of the prizes we're giving away. Mark had said earlier, we got a lot of autographed 8x10s, some autographed baseballs, autographed mini helmets, autographed jerseys. But I think the best prizes, our new sponsor, and Mark can talk a little better about Gem Mint. They make incredible cases for not only slabs, but top loads and magnetics. And these cases are amazing. We will be giving several away as door prizes. And these cases are in that $150 to $200 range. So for anyone who comes to a show and wants an easy way to carry their stuff, as you know, these cases are beautiful and a real staple in the hobby. And I think of all the prizes, those might be the most sought after because especially the presidential, it's an amazing case.
Yeah, it's a presidential gold slab case, and they also have one for top loaders and your mags and everything. And their website is gemmintclub.com. Come to our website. You can get all their information on our website, pittsburghcardshow.com. And that has all the up-to-date information.
There it is.
There they are right there. Just like the one right there in the middle of the presidential. They have all the gold rimmed and everything on their cases. Their cases are probably, if not, I gotta be the best constructed cases on the market today. Just the hardware that they use. They're not going to be cracking. They're not going to be peeling. They're heavy duty hardware that they use, and they're there to protect your cards. You have a great investment in that case. Well, their case is definitely worth grabbing and checking out. and we'll have some at the show there as well on display for you to look at. And we'll actually have a card where you can order directly through Gem Mint at a discounted rate as well for a show special only at the show. So that was actually just brought to us by Gem Mint about 3 hours ago. So that's fresh and new. I don't even think, Bryce, you know about that yet.
No, I don't, but I knew we had some cases to give away.
Oh, yeah.
Also, Barry's Art World is sending us another batch. We gave away several really awesome pictures. Barry's Art World they look like downtown cards, but they're 11 by 14 pictures. They are awesome. We gave away a bunch of those at the March show. We had Tom Brady, Joe Burrow. So Barry is sending us up another batch. He normally numbers them. And these things, if you like the downtown cards, then you'd love Barry's Art World. They're beautiful photos. You can get them framed. They go great in a man cave. We'll be giving a bunch of those away again. We have a couple of Brady's and Burrows and Jamar Chase from the last show left over. We're going to give those away. And then we have a whole nother batch coming. And Blaze, in reference to your question, we're very happy with Nash Cards. So, and Nash Cards is a show sponsor. So as long as they're going to set up at the show and accept grading submissions for PSA, then there's no need for us to bring in any other companies, to be very honest. We're very loyal to our dealers. We're very loyal to the card collectors. So, it's always great to get, SGC there or Beckett there. But as long as Nash Cards is going to be setting up our shows and they're taking grading submissions, then we're very happy with that as opposed to bringing in any of the other companies. Now, down the road, who knows, things could always change. But one thing we're going to do is stay loyal to the guys who were there right from the beginning with us.
That's awesome to hear.
Yeah, we're quite happy with Nash Cards and their customer service. I was just on a call tonight with Chris from his live feed from Nash Cards, and they're just amazing customer service. And I submitted cards myself through them at the show, just to see the process through, just so I could answer more questions when I get hit with the questions. And I could not have had an easier experience submitting cards, getting them back in a timely manner, and just their online portal is awesome. And you can check them out at nashcards.com.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Well, we've been going for a while. I mean, go ahead and, get ready to go ahead and end. We've been going for an hour and almost 15 minutes now. Thank you guys so much for coming on. I mean, it's so awesome hearing about this stuff. It's not something that, you hear about a lot in the hobby, not that's it's normal talk that you don't go ahead and hear. Like I said, just like I said, I can't say it enough. Whereas that the vibe I get from you guys again is that it's the hobby first and everything else after that. And to me, that's just the best way it should be. That's the only way it should be. And I hope more people take your guys' lead and and copy what you're doing, because I think it's just going to make for more and more success as each time you roll out another one of these events.
Thank you, Michael. Appreciate that.
We appreciate that, Michael. And Anthony, I know you got a flight to catch soon, so safe travels there this evening, coming back on the red eye and everything. And I want to throw something out there. I want to throw something out to every promoter in the country, from the guys at Burbank to the National to the Dallas Card Show, to the Midwest Monster that's coming up this week. If you have a chance in the future to do something locally, we're doing something for the community food bank at our show this time. I'd like to challenge every sponsor in the country right now, every promoter. Try and do something for the community. These places that you're having shows at and everything, you're bringing a lot of business into the area, and the communities are awesome. And anything that you can do. We had the ice bucket challenge years ago. I'm throwing out.
I'm not doing that, Mark.
I hear you.
I'm not doing that.
I just want to throw out a food bank challenge.
There you go.
Every
agree
corner of the
100%.
country. Come on out, bring some canned goods, help support the Greater Washington Community Food Bank. We can't wait to have you on the 17th. We're excited for this show. And, we have 300 plus tables at this show. Nash Cards is going to be there. We're going to be doing live breaks. There's a ton of vintage, a ton of Pokemon. There's going to be Alan, the soccer guy, is coming to this show. All the banner sale. My goodness gracious. The first banner sale in 15 years in the Pittsburgh area. These are the last ones. There's going to be no more banners. So we got what is left. The banners from the last 15 to 17 years. They're going to be on display, and they are going to be for sale at the show. So come on out, check those out, and we can't wait to have you. June 17th, Washington Crown Center. Doors open at 9 a.m. Free admission, free parking.
And you get to meet Anthony and Chef. We got celebrities in the house. Come say hi to Anthony and Chef.
That's right. Make sure you guys come hang out with us if you come out to the show. It'd be amazing to meet each and every one of you.
No sock guy yet, Dom, but there's always need a first one.
Soccer.
Always need a first one. If soccer, not sock. But
Dom, you should come set up a sock table.
But thanks a lot, guys. Again, appreciate you guys coming on. Chat, thank you very much. Don't forget, if you're in the area, you gotta go ahead and check them out. They're doing it right. You get a great vibe from just sitting here talking to them. I can just only imagine what they're like in person. So go ahead, come on out to the show, and have a good one, everything. So good night, everybody. Don't forget, come back next week. We'll be on Anthony's channel. Right? Are you going to be? Are you going to be somewhat in a normal area?
I should be back in Pittsburgh, so hopefully I'll be in a normal area with internet tethered to me, and we should have no further issues.
All right, thanks a lot, everybody. Appreciate you guys.
Appreciate it, Michael. Thank you.
See everyone.